Welcome to Tower Garden Q&A. My name is Robin, certified nutrition specialist, and we're going to talk about food and nutrition and some of the solutions that we have. It's safe to say, or I hope it's safe to say, that we want to do the best for our families in terms of nutrition. And the way that food is provided to us in the stores, it's mass produced, it doesn't have the nutrient content that our bodies need for us to thrive. And people don't understand, when you go to the store and you pick produce, even if it's organic, it's picked before it's ripened. And so it's just a lot going on with the produce. And we're in this space of what's called food insecurity. And we have a solution to help with that. So we wanted to talk to you a little bit more about it. I'm going to skim over this really quick, but I want you all to know, in the process of food being manipulated, like chickens are supposed to take 78 days to be ready, but they take 48 days. And that's through just food manipulation and doing things and putting chemicals in. And that's the same with the fruits and vegetables, and the things that are in the produce or in the livestock gets into us and can just do just things that we don't need. And soil is depleted. Crops grown decades ago were much more richer in vitamins and minerals than you would see today. And that's a challenge. And again, it comes to food insecurity. Is your food safe? And then what can you do about it? So I love to talk about a solution that we have found. And we love to say that we're inspiring healthy living around the world. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the Tower Garden and tell you what it is, why it is, and how it is, and how it can benefit you and your family. So it is a patented vertical aeroponic growing system. It uses air and water to produce fruits and vegetables, so no soil. And people say, well, what if there's no soil? Where does the nutrients come from? So it uses all natural earth mineral, a growing solution called Tower Tonic, which is both good for plant and human nutrition. And it was created by a guy named Tim Blanks, who is the chief horticulturist at Epcot Center. So he came up with this tower in a way to grow faster and in a more sustainable way. At the present, 80% of our land that's suitable for agriculture is already being used. So what do? Like, we still have to grow, we still have to eat. And so with the vertical garden, you're growing up, not horizontal. And so why this tower is, it's actually easy, fun, and it's an effective way to have the best and the fresh produce right at your fingertips, inside or outside of your home. Literally the farmer's market at your back door. And with aeroponics, it grows stronger and healthier plants. So it's increased O2 that helps the roots and prevents disease. And when I tell you it grows fast, no joke. We'll talk about that a little bit more, but it just grows super fast. And it's less space with that. So it's just an effective way to grow, given what we're dealing with in our society. So it's 30% more yield. The antioxidant equivalent is very, very high, which means when you're growing this way, you have more nutrients in your produce than if you did not. It's less time and less maintenance, less land and less water. And I know this now. I've never been a traditional gardener, but those that are traditional gardeners tell me it grows faster and it's actually more cost effective for them in the long run. So the tower really is the future of urban gardening, and they're all over. Thousands of schools across the country. You can see them in airports, convention centers, universities. And schools use them, when we used to go to school, as curriculum in science class, showing the kids how to produce their vegetables. And when kids grow, they want to eat them. And I think Valerie can tell us a little bit about that in a little bit with her children. There is curriculum for those who are in the school system to go along with teaching with the tower. Now, the question is, well, what can you produce with the tower? All kinds of fruits and vegetables except root vegetables. That root being beets, carrots, onions, potatoes. But you can do cauliflower and eggplant and cilantro and kale and beans and strawberries and peppers and endless. And I literally save, I would say I save about $30, $40 a week by not buying produce. And I have a small family, so you can grow as much as you need to. So I only have one tower, but some people have lots of towers on their roofs. You know, it's the possibilities are endless with it. Just showing you some pictures. There are literally some grocery stores that pick the produce to sell to their customers. And there are growers who grow, like I know in Temecula, there's a farmer that grows from the tower and supplies produce for like the restaurants and juice it up. So it's awesome. You can do the tower inside or outside. And so we're going to see Cece's that's inside, and then we're going to see, or Valerie's going to talk about hers that's outside and show you a couple of things. But we want you to know that tower gardening makes gardening affordable. It pays for itself. It's designed to work and built to last. So it's warranted or guaranteed. And there are two different types, a tower for inside and a tower for outside. Now, if you're in Southern California and you have this space, then our weather is usually conducive to growing outside. Like we had this 100 million heat this summer in the Inland Empire, but generally speaking, you can grow outside. So the outside tower can grow 20 different plants. And the outside tower, if you're wanting to grow big tomatoes and cucumbers and things that vine, then that's a better tower for outside. Your inside tower can grow 32 different plants, but at the top, they're smaller. They're herbs and microgreens. And that's a great salad and herb tower, and it fits so well inside of your home or your office, which is where Cece has hers. And we'll show you some show and tell. What people want to know is, well, what's the investment for the tower? And I just want to tell you all, I am so frugal, and I just wanted to get fresh produce. And when they told me that it was 12 payments of $56, that's everything included, shipping and everything that you need, I said I can do that. And I did do that. And I started growing in 2016, so 4 years ago. It's you can make payments, you can pay it in full, but there's no interest, there's no penalties. Once you purchase the tower, you get the tower. So you're not waiting to pay and then get it. As soon as you do your first payment, they're going to ship the tower to you. And again, there's everything that you need in there to grow. There's seeds in there as well. You can venture off and get different seeds, and we can connect you with vendors that sell seeds or seedlings, plants. But you don't initially, everything you need is in there. If you want the tower home, it must have lights, grow lights, and that will 83 and change a month with the lights. So if you're growing inside, you got to have those lights because there's no sun. If you're outside, you don't need the lights. And I don't know if you can see this because it's really tiny, but it's a price comparison and how much you can save in a 6-month time based on what's produced. So if you have 20 different plants and then you're not doing, or fruits and vegetables, and you're not going to the store to get those items, it says here that in 6 months you can save almost $800. It depends on your family size, but that's what it says. So what I want to do now is I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I'm going to go to Cece really quick. Cece, just show us your tower inside and just anything you want to say about that. And then we'll go to Valerie and then we'll take questions for you guys that are there. So let me unmute you. Cece, can you unmute you? Oh, okay, perfect.
Can you guys see it?
Yes, absolutely. It's lovely.
So, and right now it just finished watering.
Aha, okay.
So this is what, 2 weeks, right, girls? 2 weeks ago we planted it?
Yeah, it feels like that. It feels like about
let me come closer to it.
Okay. And what do you know what you're growing?
Yes. Can you guys see it?
Yes. Wow.
We have basil. We have arugula. We have red romaine. We have red Russian. We have arugula here too. Red butter head. Okay. Basil. Parsley. Can you guys see all this?
Yeah.
Kale. Look at how nice this is looking.
Right.
This is romaine.
And it's right inside of your office.
Yes.
It's inside.
This is inside the office. Yeah, yeah. See, you guys see the office?
Yeah.
And I keep music for it too.
Oh, that's so sweet. That is
Yeah,
no, seriously. Because it yeah. They're the babies for sure.
yeah, yeah. So
Babies.
every time when I come, when I get to work, I put the music on and I say good morning, Miss Tower. And I'm starting to nibble on it because she's getting bigger. To
Yeah.
me, really, you know what? Actually, I had her growing in the backyard
Okay.
because I hadn't got the lights.
Right.
But this is really what I had envisioned. And I find her calming. I find her almost like a buddy. Like, good morning, Miss Tower. And I feel like she's really cares about me. She's growing all this so I could eat. I don't know. I'm having a relationship with my
I know.
tower.
No, I do. I when I first got my tower, I wouldn't eat because I made cucumbers, and I was like, "They're my babies. I can't eat my cucumbers." So I know. So the water is it? How is it? Is it because it's a fountain? How often does the water come on?
I'm not sure. I don't even time it. I just set the timer on and right now were you guys did you guys hear where it was watering? You
No.
guys couldn't hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And yeah, it sounds like a little water fountain for a few minutes and then it's back to calm. And I have it on the lights for from 6 in the morning to 6 in the afternoon.
Oh, okay. So they're for 12 hours.
So
Awesome.
they just went off. They go off at 6 o'clock. It's funny because I feel like she says, "Okay, time for me to go to
So
sleep now."
sweet.
Lights go off and we just turn off the light in the room and I turn off the music and till next morning.
What I love is what you said is it's calming and it's nature, it's authentic, and that's just something too. It's just like when things are crazy, you can zen out and like, okay, this is what's good right here. My fruit, my vegetables are growing. So we're gonna come back to you, Cece, if people have
Okay. Now
questions.
I wanted to tell you I had it on the outside and I didn't feel like this about her because I didn't see her all the time because
Oh,
I'm not usually an outside person.
oh,
So in here we're having a relationship.
well, we love her. I feel like I
We
love her too.
I do too.
I know.
I'm gonna have a little sign put up there and it's gonna say Miss Tower.
Miss Tower. People
So
name them. Like people
so
send me.
everybody that come in this room is gonna say, "Good morning, Miss Tower. Goodbye." And I'll tell you something, my clients are like, "What?"
I know. And
So
people
I don't know
they
how
say
there's not 20 people on this call right now.
we I'll have to have everybody like send in their names of their towers because people have named their towers. I have all these like I have
Yes,
grandkids tower gardens. So we're gonna come back to you, Cece,
yes.
if there are questions. So I'm gonna go to Valerie, and Valerie is so Valerie, you got to talk so that you can be in the spotlight.
So I'm growing the Tower Flex, which is an outside tower garden. And I started this Wednesday coming up will be 3 weeks since I planted from seeds to what they are now. And this weekend, my plan is to clean out my existing tower and put these guys in. So Miss Cece gave me these guys right here in the front. So I've been taking care of those. So what I grew is peas, sugar snap peas, and regular peas, and green lettuce and kale, and what else did I put in here? Bib lettuce, dino kale. Mostly it's all lettuce.
Awesome, awesome.
So, um, so I'm getting ready for my fall harvest.
Yes. Now, when you plant, because you started planting this, was it this summer?
March, yes.
March. And how long, if you can remember, from when you started planting till you could eat off of it?
Probably about a month.
Is that crazy, right? Like, okay, so those of
From
you all that
seed
are listening,
to harvesting, yeah.
the month.
And I know Lydia, look how big they grow in 1 week, right?
Yeah, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's so exciting. What I would love to do for those of you, because we could talk, but what we really want you all to be able to ask questions so that we can answer it for you. So you can, if you, depending on how computer savvy you are, you can type in a question if you have a question in the chat, or by all means, unmute yourself if you know how, so that we can answer questions. And please don't be shy, because I think that we want you to know anything you want to know. We want to answer it for you. So,
I have a quick question. Like when you said it takes a month, is it fully grown after the month that you're able to eat it?
oh, you want to talk? Oh, go for it, Valerie. You gotta unmute. You gotta unmute.
Yes, yes. So it depends on what vegetable it is. Some will take longer than others. Like I grew cucumbers last time. So the vine grows wild and it grows fast. But for the actual cucumber to actually mature to where it can be edible, it took about 2 months. But for everything else, the lettuce, the kale, they were fast growing and instantaneously within a month you can start eating, harvesting off of it. Especially basil. Basil is my other basil right now on the tower. It's crazy. So that one I can eat like from the very beginning, little tiny pieces, and then now they're just big leaves and everywhere.
Everywhere. Another question came in. So it says, once the plant. Let me go back to the question. Also, let me say this too before I answer that, as far as how far. So when you first get your tower, it'll take about a week or 3 weeks for the seeds to sprout so that they're big enough to put in your tower. So that after it's in your tower, so even still, Valerie, from that process of from the seed till you put it in your tower, how long did you say would you? Is it still a month from that point that you can eat
Yeah,
it?
average a month.
Yeah. So
So
once you
about
get
four
the
weeks.
about 4 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the question is, once the plants are ready to harvest, how long do you have to harvest before the produce goes bad? I so you want to take it, or I can answer that one too.
Me?
Yeah. You want me to
Okay.
answer it?
So hi Anna. So with the produce,
Hi.
it really doesn't go bad because what you're doing is you're kind of gleaning bits and pieces to make a salad. So you'll get your like your basket or your colander, you go out there or inside your house and you'll just clip bits and pieces. And then what's going to happen is the more you clip, the more it's going to produce.
Gross.
So you'll never run dry, you'll never run out.
And they will last about, so when you plant a plant, it'll keep going for you, some of them 6 months. So I have my Swiss chard, and it just keeps going. You go and you eat, it comes back days later. And sometimes it's just endless. It keeps going, it keeps going. And when it's the seasons change, right? So there's going to be a point where it's done producing. So it, like I said, about 4 months or 6 months. And then sometimes they'll start sprouting flowers. So then you know that it's done. So like my basil is done. And so now it's turning into like a flower. And then, oh, go ahead, Valerie.
Oh, no,
Oh,
yeah.
and then also once you clip it, this is actually what it's very telling, because once you clip your produce, so in the store, you put it in your refrigerator and it'll last forever. Once you detach your produce from its source, it's not going to last forever, because you've it was alive and it's with its host, and so you just clip and eat. Like, you clip when you need it. And but so if you have it sitting around for days and days, it's not gonna last and be as fresh. Which is, again, that tells you that the produce we have in our stores has been tampered with so that it can survive in the
Right.
store. Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing I wanted to say is I really enjoyed like Cece opening my eyes to this because during this whole time of COVID, right? I know who's touching the produce, it's me. And I know what's being applied on the produce because I know how I'm taking care of it. And there's no pest control, there's no pesticides on it. So I know what I'm getting is pure organic produce, which is why it doesn't last when you clip it, doesn't last that long. It has to be eaten immediately.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's actually comforting. Go ahead, Cece.
And I clipped mine, and it was like I was getting more than I was eating.
Mm,
And I clipped it and I put it in a bag, and it lasted 3 days in the refrigerator,
yeah, yeah.
just as crisp as when I cut it. And so the consistency and the cup, it was like, I'm like, wow,
Wow.
so fresh. 3 days after, I had it in a bag, though I sealed it after I clipped it and put it in a bag. It was really good. I was surprised.
And you all will be able to tell, like, if you have cucumbers that you grow or tomatoes, the taste is I mean, once you have a produce from your tower, you'll almost be mad that what is being given to us in the store because it's so fresh and it's so authentic. And you can also freeze it. Go ahead, Valerie.
You can taste the iron in it
Mm,
and the minerals. You can taste you can taste the iron in it, the way I guess a vegetable or a lettuce should be.
wow.
So you know you're getting your nutrients that way.
You can taste the health.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good. Awesome. Awesome. Any other questions for you all out there? Yes, go ahead.
I have a question. I didn't get the first part. What vegetables did you say you cannot grow? Like I heard beets, potatoes. What
Yeah,
else?
so anything with a root. So potatoes, carrots, onions, but you can grow chives and green onions, but not the big bulb onions, and then carrots. And then sometimes people ask me, um, can you grow like oranges or lemons? And I have to tell you, like anything that grows from a tree, like you can't grow that from a tree, but you can actually grow watermelon from it, strawberries, cantaloupe. I haven't, but I've seen other growers. Oh, this is what I want to tell you all too. For our growers, because we're a community, once we have grower meetings with just for growers, so that once you are a grower, you have support and you can ask questions. And we do that every month, and we also record it so that you can say, okay, well, what about this? Or what about a bug? Or whatever questions you have, we want you to be able to ask and be successful because we want you to be happy with your growing experience. So yeah, awesome. Go ahead, Cece.
I had one of my clients because I'm not an expert in growing, and I had some little black drops at the bottom, and
Uh-huh.
she says, "Cece, come here.
Uh-huh.
This is a bug's poop."
Ah, okay.
And I said, "What?" So we went to search and we found the two little bugs on the plants and we took it out. She put them in her hand and then she went and put them outside in
Okay.
the wild again. And I thought, what? So little black drops is bugs poopy.
And there are, and I won't talk about it right now, but I just made a note of that because there's certain essential oils that I do. I just spray certain oils.
I'm going to bring that tomorrow. I have some at home that
Yeah,
I'm,
I spray peppermint actually. I
oh,
have a spray bottle and I just spray. And I spray it so for you, like now when it's the lights are not gonna be on,
hmm,
I would just spray it.
that
Um,
would be the best time, right?
yeah, I just spray it, and then it's like, and outside is different from inside because outside is like there is like the elements, and but inside just spray it with essential oils and
Okay.
see how that goes. So, all right, you guys, we have like about 5 more minutes or so. We want to
Yeah.
make sure that those that are visitors have their questions answered. So, do you have any other questions at all? Don't be shy, or if you are, you can type it in. Any other questions? Okay, so the we encourage you to become a part of our growing community, and the person that invited you here is the one who can get your tower ordered for you. And when you order, it usually takes about 10 days to get to you, and it's everything you need. And I would tell you that my daughter, was 15 but was 11 at the time, she set my tower up. Valerie's babies, they're not babies, but they're her boys helped to set it up. So if you have kids, grandkids, pull them into the project because when they grow it, they want to eat it. And that's very, very helpful for them. So again, make sure to go ahead, Valerie.
So what I like too is like when you're like meetings like this, you get to interact and find out what other people are growing and just how their towers are doing. But I learned a trick from when I was with Cece and you. I ordered the picks.
Oh, you did.
So the picks, because normally in the kit it comes with a little tray and then you just pop your little plants in there and then the tower waters them and they grow.
Okay.
But my roots were so, I guess you say, healthy that they were growing out of control.
Right.
So this actually, see, look at the roots here.
Yeah.
So the roots will actually grow and they'll get big, stringy. So this is gonna be able to help my plant to kind of breathe better so I can pull it out once in a while, clip the roots and stick it back. So that's a little trick.
Yeah, you're gonna have to tell me how you like those because I'm like so old school. I'm so old school, and I'm a little slow. So I just do it with the basket. So you're gonna have to let me know because I'm about to replan and maybe I should go ahead and get those. So, anyways, everybody, again, last call for questions before we go. All right. Well, please contact the person that invited you here to get started with our growing community. And if you do Facebook, there's like 20,000 growers there. If you have questions and you do Facebook, you can hop in there and ask questions. You can ask us. And then we have a meeting called Tower Talks for our growers once a month where we're just our local team. We're just talking about growing and different tips and things and a different topic every month. This Saturday, if you become a grower, we'll invite you to the talk on Saturday, and we're going to talk about planting for the fall. So I'm going to